Hi, I'm Devin from Careerified. Welcome back to my home office. This week, we are going to continue talking about job search. You might remember last week I shared some tips on how to be a little bit more strategic and targeted when it comes to your job search. This week, I wanted to add on an additional tip that is perhaps a little counterintuitive for anybody who's in job search mode, and it's this: don't spend all your time job searching. I know it sounds super weird. I always get raised eyebrows when I say it, but there are a couple of reasons for it. So one, you've probably heard the old adage about how when you're unemployed, your job is finding a job. You should spend 8 hours a day on it, blah, blah, blah. In actuality, if you are being strategic and targeted in your job search, you're not going to need 8 hours every day. There are some days when, yes, that'll happen, but you're not going to need 8 hours every day. So you may as well, by working smarter, avoid some of that burnout that's going to happen. The bigger reason is simply that unemployment is temporary. I know it doesn't feel that way. It never does when you're unemployed. But if you are engaging in an active job search, it's not going to take long, even if it feels like it takes long. There is a day coming for you, and it's a day when you're going to open up your calendar and take a look at the day, and you're going to realize that you have back-to-back meetings. Your to-do list is super long. You have appointments coming out the wazoo, and this little voice is going to wake up in your head, and it's going to say, dude, you know, when you had all that time, why didn't you do something with it? And that's when you're going to start thinking stuff like, oh, I really wanted to take up running, or I really wanted to write a book, or those are the things. And now I don't have time. That's what's going to happen in your head. So do your future self a favor, and whatever that thing is that you've always wanted to do or that you've been thinking about, do it now. Establish it as a routine. So now is a great time to do stuff like start a fitness routine, learn how to cook, or if you're already a decent cook, maybe master a few new recipes, especially ones that are sort of quick that you can spin out at the end of a long workday. Now's a great time to, spruce up your lawn or your garden, or maybe start a few plants in your living room if that's something you're interested in. If you do want to write the book, start writing the book, outline something. Or maybe you want to do something like learn how to play the guitar. Whatever it is, do it now. I promise you, your future self is going to say, oh, I'm so glad I took that time and I used it effectively. One of the best things that's really come out of the COVID-19 pandemic is there are a ton of different tools and resources online that you can access either for free or for reasonably cheap, in terms of like upskilling or taking lessons, or, recipes are all over the place. So there are a lot of things you can access easily and relatively cheaply right now, which is a really nice benefit of all of this. So as I mentioned last week, the fall is a really popular time to kick off a job search, and you or your child may be in a particular position for one. Maybe you found out in the pandemic that your employer wasn't as awesome as you thought. Maybe your child has just graduated from college or university and hasn't been too successful in job search so far. Or maybe you have a high school grad in your house who's starting a gap year. For whatever reason, the approach should be the same to the job search. So be strategic, be efficient, be effective, and also remember to treat yourself like a whole person. You are a whole person. So don't spend 100% of your time in the job search. That is my tip for this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you back here for a new tip next week. You take good care.